So, not a real word, but you can sound it out. What about this one, Jess? List. What do you do before you go grocery shopping? You make a
List.
That's that word, list. Okay? Now this, I'm going to change, and I'm going to put this here. What does that say? Kept. What does it mean if someone kept something?
I kept his book.
I kept Mrs. Levine's book last night,
I kept
right?
pointing.
Okay. Now, what if I take this off and I put that there, girls? What is that? Raft. What is a raft? It's something you float on, right? Like in a pool or down a river, okay? All right, so let's see. I'm going to put this here. Remember we read African Elephants? Remember we read that book? What does it say, Paula? All right, so let's sound this one out. Mel, eyes up here. Let's go every letter and make the sound for it. You ready? Mel, all the way to the end, right? All right, so say it again. Usk. Tusk. I know that sk at the end is hard. Now what's going to happen if I put this here? Cold. Guess what? You know what happened here? Is that saying aw like octopus? No, it's saying, this is saying oh like cold. Now it's saying cold, right? Sometimes that happens, right? Same thing here. What if I put this here? Ink. Now that A is saying A, right? Okay? So girls, I wanted us to review, okay? I wanted us to review these short vowel sounds, and we're putting these ending blends on, which I know are hard for some of you, but you have to pay attention to those endings, okay? We have to read the word, Jess, all the way to the end, right? Our eyes have to follow the word all the way to the end. All right, now look up here. See these endings that we've talked about? Mel, see these endings? How do we say the CK at the end? K, like in the word lock, right? Like in the word lock, say lock. No, say lock. Not look, lock. Say lock. Say lock. Now the k sound at the end is just one sound, right? It's just one sound. Same thing with this. Who knows what this? Paula, turn around and put your eyes here. What does this say? TCH. It says, no, that says ch. Can you say ch? Ch. That says ch at the end. Okay? These aren't blends. You know why they're not blends? They only make one sound. Right? This says k and this says ch. All right. So, short vowels, ending blends. Have a seat, girls. We got one other thing to do on our word work, and then we're going to move into our writing. Okay? Now we've also, Mel, we're waiting for you.
Yeah, we're waiting for you.
We've also worked on. We've been working on these patterns. They're called vowel teams. And what's the rule about like the O and the A? Two vowels go walking
Together.
They go walking together. Which one does the talking?
O.
The first one does the talking, so the O. What about the two E's? What does that say? What does this say? A. So, and then this one's its own tricky self. What does it say? What does it say, Jen? Ow. What does it say? Ow. Right. Everyone say ow.
Ow.
All right. Now I'm going to say the word. Stay with me, Jess. I'm going to say the word paid. Paid.
A-I.
All right. Who can tell me how to spell it?
P-A-I-D.
Okay. Paid. right, now I'm going to say the word feed.
Oh, F-E-E-D.
Okay, so what column does it go in?
E.
This one. Okay, this is very similar to the things that we did for quite a few weeks. All right, this one. What does this say?
Oh.
What does this one say?
Ow.
Ow. I'm going to say the word found. Which one does it go in?
O-A. No. O-U. Oh, wait.
Which one does it go in?
O-U. O-U.
Oh, you. Oh, you silly. Right? All right. So how are we going to spell found?
O-U-N-D.
All right. Now I'm going to say the word float.
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 F-L-O-A-T.
F-L-O-A-T. Float. Okay? So where these are vowels, right? All we did was take these and we put them in combinations, right? That make their own sounds. Like this one will say ow. And these will say their own name. But these are short vowels usually. Okay? All right. Take out your writer's notebook, please. And I will give you... We're going to switch places here, Kelly. Okay, honey? Is it working out all right? Still going? Take out your writer's notebooks. And we're going to go to your first clean... Well, actually, I first want you to look at what you wrote for me about African elephants. Okay? Because what we're going to do today is a little similar to what we wrote about African elephants. All right? So let's find that. Can you help me find it in here, Jess? That's not about African elephants.
I think it's alright.
Did we write about the African elephants?
I think it's alright. It's right here.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, if you could kind of... All right. Read to yourself what you wrote about African elephants, because what we want to do is we want to use this as kind of give us a picture in our mind of what it's going to look like when we write about the aquarium. Okay? So read to yourself.
Done. It has big feet. Elephant has...
Elephant have... Oh, I think you should start here. African...
Elephant has big ears. And on hot days, elephants are the biggest animals.
Right, so you're talking about a few things. You're talking about this, right, as being something you learned about African elephants. You're talking about this, right, and you're talking about this, right? These are these three new things that you learned, right? Do you think we could maybe, when we write about the aquarium, Jess, organize it so that it's more clear to the reader, right? So when the reader looks at it, they can kind of pick this new information out really easily. Do you think we might be able to do that so that your reader says, aha, I get it, okay? All right, so Paula, nice job here. You wrote in 3 sentences, right? With your capitals, with your periods. You did a really nice job. And you wrote about 3 facts, right? So you did it, you ordered it very nicely. But when we do the next writing about the aquarium, maybe you could make it so that it is clearer to your reader, some more details about each of these, okay? But keeping the things about, like it says, elephants can eat fruit, plants, and grass. Maybe you would write more about that, but you would keep it in this section, right? You would keep it organized with the ideas that are like it, okay? And Mel, that was after, we wrote that after I helped you keep things in a straight line. Remember we were working on you keeping things in a straight line because some of your writing was kind of going like that, like my writing on the board. Sometimes it goes down like a mountain. So you did a really nice job on that. So we're going to continue to work on maybe having you take some of your ideas and maybe compare them, Okay, because I think you're ready for that. All right, so here's what we're going to write about. So you learned a lot of things about the aquarium in that book. All right, I'm sure you found some things very interesting, like about the sea jellies and stuff like that, Paula, you were telling me about when we were reading. So I want you to write about 3 things. Put up how many fingers for how many things we're going to write about. Mel, can I see? Okay, we're going to write about 3 things that you learned about aquariums that you didn't know until you read this book. Okay? Because we talked a little bit about who's already been to an aquarium, and for the most part, some have and some haven't. So I'm sure that we've all learned something about aquariums from the book. So you're going to write how many things? 3 things, okay? And think about, okay, how you're going to organize it so that your reader is not having a hard time reading it, okay? So, like for instance in the book Cranes, right? See how in Cranes,
Can lift up an elephant and everything.
right? It put some things about the cranes, right? Then it gave kind of a diagram to further even Mel, can you put it down, your book down for just 1 second and look? And then the author gave like a little picture to explain about the cranes. You could actually even do that in your writing, okay? So as you write, be thinking about how to organize it so the reader is clear on what you're saying, okay? You certainly can go back in your book, find those 3 things you want to write about.
Here? You put it here?
No, go to your first clean page. I just wanted you to read about elephants to give yourself an idea of where we're going. Okay, so Mel, go to your first clean page, please. So now this is what we call information writing. We're like an author who's going to teach people about something that we learned. Jess, tell me first. Don't write yet. Tell me first. What did you learn that was really interesting in the book?
That the jellies can sting you too, and all of those things that they eat.
Okay, so it talked about all the things that the jellies eat and that they can sting you too. So you need to, in your own words, right, write that one thing that you found interesting. So you just said that you want people to know that sea jellies can sting people too, right? Is that really what you want to say to your readers? Because I noticed that what you just wrote, right, you're kind of telling a story. We don't really want you to tell a story. We want you to tell what you learned or what you found interesting in the book. So why don't we start like with the word sea jellies, because that's what you're going to write about. Mel, what was your idea that you want to write about, that you found interesting? You can show me and I can help you find the words for it.
Disappeared. I can see it a lot.
That's okay. No, I can see it. That's good. Okay, so you stuck? If I open up your book and I go abracadabra,